Today is April 1st, 2023, and our reading today will be Amphitryon by Plautus.
Hello, welcome. We are Moliere Rendezvous, and today we are going to be reading a comic play by Plautus, who was born in 254 BCE. He was a great Roman comic dramatist, and Amphitryon was Plautus' only play on a mythological subject, written around 190 BCE. Later, Moliere used the story with the same name. His play was successfully received on its premiere in Paris in 1668. And the cast. So let's start with Clinton.
Hello, I am Clinton Powell, and I'm reading BROMIA.
Jupiter.
Hi, Angus Hepburn from London, reading Jupiter.
Drew.
I'm Drew Bolander, and I'm reading Mercury.
Derek.
Hi, I'm Derek Tarson, and I'm reading Amphitryon.
And Bill. Welcome, Bill.
Hello. Oh, that was a scare. Yes, I'm Bill, and I'm playing SOSIA.
Yes, and I am Simone Coonrod, and I'm playing Alcmena. All right, so our setting is Thebes, a street in Thebes.
According as ye here assembled would have me prosper you and bring you luck in your buyings and sellings of goods, yea, and forward you in all things. And according as ye all would have me find your business affairs and speculations happy outcome in foreign lands, and here and at home, and crown your present future undertakings with fine fat profits for evermore, and according as ye would have me bring you and all yours glad news, reporting and announcing matters which most contribute to our common good, for ye doubtless are aware ere now that 'tis me the other gods have yielded and granted plenipotence or messages and profits. According as you would have me bless you in all these things, and in such degree will ye keep still while we are acting in this play and be fair and square judges of this performance. Now, I will tell you who bade me come and why I came, and likewise myself state my own name. Jupiter bade me come. My name is Mercury. My father has sent me here to you to make plea, yea, albeit he knew that whatever was told you in way of command you would do, insomuch as he realized that you revere and dread him as men should, Jupiter. But the fact remains that he has bidden me make this request in suppliant wise with gentle, kind words. For you see, that Jupiter that bade me come here is just like any one of you in his horror of trouble. His mother, being human, also his father, it should not seem strange if he does feel apprehensive regarding himself. Yes, and the same is true of me, the son of Jupiter. Once my father has some trouble, I am afraid I shall catch it too. Wherefore, I come in peace, and peace do I bring you. It is a just and trifling request I wish to grant you, for I am sent as a just pleader, pleading with the just for what is just. It would be fitting, of course, for unjust favors to be obtained from the just. It would be unfitting, of course, for unjust favors to be obtained from the just, while looking for just treatment from the unjust is folly. For unfair folk of that sort neither know nor keep justice. Now then, pay attention, all of you, to what I'm about to say. Our wishes should be yours. We deserve it of you, my father and I, of you and your state. Ah, well, why should I, after the fashion of other gods, Neptune, Virtue, Victory, Mars, Bellona, whom I have seen in the tragedies recounting their goodness to you, rehearse the benefits that my father, ruler of the gods, hath builded up for all men? It never was a habit of that sire of mine to twit good people with the good he did them. He considers you grateful for him, for it and grateful to him for it, and worthy of the good things he does for you. Now, first, as to the favor I come to ask, and then you shall hear the argument of our tragedy. What? Frowning because I said this was to be a tragedy? I am a god. I will transform it. I'll convert this same play from tragedy to comedy, if you like, and never change a line. Do you wish me to do that or not? But here, how stupid of me, as if I didn't know that you do wish it when I am a deity. I understand your feelings in the matter perfectly. I shall mix things up. Let it be tragic comedy. Of course, it would never do for me to make it a comedy out and out with the king of the gods on the boards. How about it then? Well, in view of the fact that there is a slave part in it, I shall do just as I said and make it a tragic comedy. Now, here is the favor Jove bade me ask you. Let inspectors go from seat to seat throughout the house, and should they discover clackers planted for the benefit of any party, let them take as security from all such in the house their togas. Or if there be those who have solicited the palm for actors, or for any artists, whether by letter or by personal solicitation, or through intermediary or further, if the aediles do bestow the said palm upon anyone unfairly, Jove doth decree that the self-same law obtain, as should the said party solicit guiltily for himself or for another public office. 'Tis worth has won your wars for you, saith he, not solicitations or unfairness. Why should not the same law hold for the player as for the noblest patriot? Worth, not hired support, should solicit victory. He who plays his part aright ever has support enough, if it so be that honor dwells in those whose concern it is to judge his acts. This injunction too did Jove lay upon me, that inspectors should be appointed for the actors, to the end that whosoever was enjoined clackers to clap himself, or whosoever has endeavored to compass the failure of another, may have his player's costume cut to shreds, also his hide. I would not have you wonder why Jove is now regardful of actors. Do not so. He himself, Jove, will take part in this comedy. What, surprised? As if it were actually a new departure. This Jove's turning an actor? Why, just last year, when actors on this very stage called upon Jupiter, he came and helped them out. This play, then, Jove himself will act out today, and I along with him. Now, give me your attention while I unfold the argument of our comedy. This city here is Thebes. In that house there dwells Amphitryon, born in Argos, of an Argive father, and his wife, Alcmena, Electra's daughter. At present, this Amphitryon is at the head of the Theban army, and Thebans being at war with the Teleboians. Before he himself left to join his troops, his wife Alcmena was with child by him. Now, I think you know already what my father is like, how free and apt he is to be in a good many cases of this sort, and what an impetuous lover he is once his fancy is taken. Well, Alcmena caught his fancy without her husband knowing it, and he enjoyed her and got her with child. So now Alcmena, that you may see it quite clearly, is with child by both of them, by her husband and by mighty Jove. And my father is there inside this very moment with her in his arms. And it is on this account that the present night has been prolonged while he enjoys the society of his heart's delight. All this in the guise of Amphitryon. You understand? Now, don't be surprised at this get-up of mine, and because I appear here in the character of a slave, as I do. I am going to submit to you a new version of a worn and ancient tale, hence my appearance is new, got up. The point is, my father Jupiter is now inside there, mark you. He has turned himself into the very image of Amphitryon, and all the servants that see him believe that's who he is. See how he can change his skin when he likes? And as for me, I have assumed the form of Amphitryon's slave Zosia, who went away to the army with him. My idea being to subserve my amorous sire and to not have the domestics ask who I am when they see me busy about the house here continually. As it is, when they think I am a servant and one of their own number, not a soul shall ask me who I am or what I come for. So now my father is inside, indulging his heart's desire as he lies there with his arms around the lady love he particularly dotes on. He is telling Alcmena what happened during the campaign, and she all the time thinking him her husband when he's not. On he goes there with his stories of putting the legions of the foe to fight and being presented with the prizes galore. The prizes Amphitryon did receive there, we stole. Things my father fancies come easy to him. Now Amphitryon will return from the army today, and the slave I am representing too. To make it easier for you to tell us apart, I shall always wear this little plume on my hat. Yes, and as for my father, he will have a little gold tassel hanging from his. Amphitryon will not have this mark. They are marks that none of the household here are able to see, but you will. But there is Amphitryon's servant Zosia, just coming from the harbor with a lantern. I'll bustle him away from the house as soon as he gets here. Watch now. It'll be worth your while to attend when Jove and Mercury make up a histrionic art.
Who's bolder? Who's a bolder man, a more audacious man than I am? I know all about the young bloods and their capers. I do. Yet here I am strolling all around all alone at this time of night. What if the police should lock me up in jail? Tomorrow I should be taken out of the preserve closet and get served to a rope's end. And not a word would they let me say for myself, and not a bit of help could I get from master, and then there wouldn't be a soul, but what would reckon I deserved a hiding? Those 8 strong wardens would pound my poor carcass just as if I was an anvil. And that is how I should be entertained on coming home from abroad, a public reception. His master's impatience forced me into this, routing me out from the harbor at this time of night against my will. Might have sent me on this the same errand by daylight, mightn't he? This is where it comes hard, slaving it from a nabob. This is where a plutocrat servant is worse off. Night and day, there's work enough and more for him, no end. Always something to be done, yes, or said, so that you can't rest. And your plutocrat is a master that never does a hand's turn of work himself, takes it for granted that any whim that comes into a man's head can be gratified. Yes, he counts that the fair thing and never takes account of how much the work is. I tell you, there's a great deal of injustice this slavery lets you in for. You've got to take your load and carry it, and that is work.
It would be more in the order for Mercury to do some of this grumbling about menial station, and was born this very day, and now his father has made a slave of him. It's this fellow, a born drudge, that is grumbling.
I need a drubbing. I do. Drudge that I am. I was not too quick, was I? To think of addressing the gods and giving them the thanks on my arrival? Oh, Lord, if they took a notion to pay me back my dues, they'd commission someone to mash my face for me in a shape on my arrival, now that I haven't appreciated the good turns they've done for me, and I've let them go for nothing. Oh dear.
Rather uncommon that, his knowing that he did what he deserves to get.
What I never dreamed would happen, nor anyone else on our side either, has happened. And here we are, safe and sound. Our legions come back victorious, our foes vanquished, a mighty contest concluded, and our enemies massacred to a man. The town that has brought an untimely death to many a Theban citizen has been crushed and captured by the strength and valor of our soldiery. Aye, and chiefly under the command and auspices of my own master Amphitryon. He was furnished forth his countrymen with booty and land and fame, and fixed King Creon firm upon his Theban throne. As for me, he has sent me on ahead home from the harbor to tell his wife the news. How the state was served under the leadership, command, and auspices of his very own self. Now, let me think. How I am to tell her the tale when I get there. If I do work in a lie or two, it won't be anything extraordinary for me. The fact is, it was just when they were doing their hardest fighting, I was doing my hardest running. Oh, well, I'll pretend I was there just the same and recite that I heard tell about it. But the neatest way to narrate my story, and the words to use, must practice a bit by myself beforehand here. Here's where I'll begin. First and foremost, when we reached there, as soon as we had touched land, straight away, Amphitryon picks out the most illustrious of his captains. These he sends forth as legates and bids convey his terms to the Teloboyans. To wit, should they wish, without contention and without strife, to deliver up pillage and pillagers and restore whatsoever they had carried off, he himself would lead his army home forthwith, and with Argives would leave their land and grant them peace and quietude. But were they otherwise disposed and disinclined to yield what he sought, he would thereupon, with all the force at his command, make onslaught on their city. When Amphitryon's ambassadors had duly made this proclamation to the Teloboyans, they, doughty warriors, confiding in their courage and glorifying in their strength, made a right rough and haughty answer to our embassy, saying that they would defend themselves and theirs by force and of arms, and that accordingly they should depart at once and lead their troops out from the Teloboyan borders. On receiving this report from the legates, Amphitryon at once led forth his whole army from camp, and from the city too, the Teloboyans led out their legions in goodly panoply. After both sides had marched out in full force, troops arrayed and ranks arrayed, he drew up our legions according to our usual method and manner. Our foemen likewise draw up their legions facing ours. Then forward into the center of the field stride the leaders of both hosts, and there beyond the serried lines they had colloquy. This pact was made that they who were conquered in this battle should surrender city, land, shrines, homes, and persons. This done, the trumpets blared on either side. Earth echoes on either side, the battle cry is raised. The generals on either side, both here and there, offer their vows to Jove, and on either side cheer their warriors. Then each man lays about him with his every ounce of strength and strikes home with his blade. Lances shiver, the welkin rings with the roar of heroes. Up from the gasping, panting breath of cloud arises, then drop beneath the weight of wounds. At last, as we wished, our host prevails. The foemen fall in heaps. On and on we press, fired by our might. Yet for all that, none turns in flight, nor yields an inch, but stands his ground and hews away. They lose their lives sooner than quit their post. As each had stood, so he lies, and keeps the line unbroken. When my lord Amphitryon noted this, he straightway ordered that the cavalry on our right be led by the charge. Swift they obey with a terrific yell, swooping down on the right in mad career. They mangle, trample underfoot the forces of our foes, and right our wrong.
Not a single solitary word of fiction has he uttered yet, for I was there myself when the battle was actually going on, and my father too.
Their warriors take to flight. This new courage animates our men, and when the Teleboians return their backs, we stick them full of spears, and Amphitryon himself cut down King Tyrellus with his own hand. This fight was fought out all through the day, there from morn till eve. I remember this point more distinctly because that noon I went without my lunch. But darkness at last intervened and terminated the engagement. The following day, their foremost men come tearfully from the city to our camp, their hands veiled in suppliant wise, and entreat us to pardon their transgression. And one and all, they surrender their person, their entire possessions, sacred and profane, their city and their children to the Theban people to have and to hold as they deem fit. Then for his valor, my lord Amphitryon was presented with a golden bowl from which King Tyrellus was wont to drink. This is how I will tell it to the mistress. Now I will finish up the job for master and take myself home.
About to come this way? I'll step up and meet him. The fellow shall never reach this house at present. I won't have it. Now that I am his double, I fully intend to befool the fellow. And I say, considering I have taken on his looks and dress, it is appropriate for me to ape his ways and general conduct too. I must be a sly rapscallion then, shifty as the deuce, yes, and drive him away from the door with his own weapon, roguery. What's he at, though? Staring at the sky? I must keep an eye on him.
My goodness, if there's anything I can believe or know for sure, I surely do believe old Nocturnus went to bed this night in liquor. What? The Great Bear hasn't moved a step anywhere in the sky, and the moon's just as it was when it first rose, and Orion's belt. Oh, look at that! And the evening star and the Pleiades aren't sitting either. Yes, the constellations are standing shocked still, and no sign of day anywhere.
Go on as you have begun, knight. Oblige my father. You're doing splendidly and a splendid work for a splendid deity. You'll find it a very fine investment.
I don't think I've ever seen a longer night, barring that one when I got whipped and was left strung up till morning. And goodness me, in length, this one's way ahead of even that one. God, I certainly do believe old soul's asleep and dead drunk. It's a wonder if he hasn't drunk his own hell a bit too much at dinner.
So, you scoundrel, think the gods are like yourself, eh? Well, by heaven, I'll give you a reception to match this talk and roguery of yours, you gallows bird. Just you be good enough to step this way, and you shall meet with a mishap.
Where are those young blades that hate a lonely couch? Here is our lovely knight for gallivanting with an expensive lady.
According to this chap, my father's making good, intelligent use of this time-loving to his heart's content with Alcmena in his fond embrace.
Now, for the message master told me to give the mistress. But who is that fellow in front of the house at this time of night? I don't like it.
Of all the pulse-unanimous rogues.
It looks to me as if this fellow wants to take my cloak off for me.
Oh, our friend is scared. We'll have some sport with him.
Oh, Lord, my teeth do itch. He's going to give me a welcome on my arrival. He surely is. A fisty welcome, and he's a kind-hearted soul. I do believe, seeing how master's kept me awake all night, he's going to up with his fists now and put me to sleep. Oh, my dead entirely. For God's sake, look at the size of him and strong, heavens.
I'll speak out aloud so that he can hear what I say, and then I'll warrant he'll feel shakier. Fists! Be up and doing! 'Tis long since ye have made provision for my paunch. It seems I seems an age since yesterday when we stripped stark 4 men and laid them away in slumber.
Oh, but I'm awfully scared. My name will be changed here and now from SOSIA to SOSIA the fifth. Our 4 men he stripped already and then sent to Slumberland. So he says, I'm afraid I'm going to swell that list.
There. Now then, 'tis well.
Oh, his loins girded. He is surely getting ready for business.
He shall not escape a trouncing.
Who?
I tell ye, any man that comes this way shall eat fists.
No, you don't. No, I don't care about eating at this time of night. It wasn't long ago I dined. So if you've got any sense, you just bestow that dinner on the hungry.
Well, there's some weight in that fist.
I'm finished. He's away his fists.
Oh, what if I should stroke him softly into somnolence?
You saved my life. I haven't slept a wink for 3 nights running.
Oh, downright sinful this, 'tis a shame. 'Tis wrong of my arm to learn really to jab a jaw, merely graze a man with thy fist, and his shape must needs be altered.
That bully's going to do me up and mold my face all over again for me.
The face that thou shalt smite in earnest is bound thereafter to be boneless.
Sure enough, he's reckoning on boning me like a lamprey. I object to these man boners. It's all up to the catches. It's all up if he catches sight of me.
Huh? I smell somebody, and woe to him.
Oh dear. It can't be that he's got a whiff of me.
Aye, and he must be near at hand, albeit he has been afar from here.
The fellow's got second sight.
Oh, my fists are rampant.
If you intend to put them through their paces on me, for heaven's sakes, break them and first on the wall.
A voice hath flown into my ear.
There you are. I swear, I am an unlucky devil not to have clipped its wings and knees with such a bird-like voice.
Yon wight doth summon me to wallop his beast's back for him.
Never beast do I owe, not I.
Oh, he needs a lusty load of buffets.
Oh, Lord, and me all done up with the sea trips. Oh, I'm seasick even now. It's all I can do to stump along empty-handed, so don't think I can travel with a load.
Yea, of a truth, someone is talking here.
Saved. He doesn't see me. It's someone, he says, he is talking, and my name is SOSIA. I know that for a fact.
Yes, a voice from right here, as it seems, doth strike my ear.
I'm afraid he'll soon pummel me instead of my voice for it's striking him.
Oh, splendid, he moves this way.
I'm scared. I'm simply stiff. Good gracious, I don't know where in the world I am. Not if anyone asked me. Oh dear, I can't move a step for fear. This ends me. Master's orders are done for it, and it's SOSIA too. But I'm resolved. I'm going to speak right up to him boldly, so that I can make him think I'm dangerous character, and let me be.
Oh, whither dost stroll? Thou who conveyest Vulcan pent within yon horn?
What dost thou want to know for, thou who bonest folks' faces for 'em with your fists?
Art a slave or free?
Whichever I please.
So, in sooth.
Yes, in sooth.
Thou whipped slave.
You lie, I'm none.
But I shall soon make thee say 'tis true.
No, what's the use of that?
May I be informed where thou art bound, who owns thee, and why thou camest?
I'm bound for here, master's orders, and I'm his slave. Are you any wiser now?
Oh, I'll soon make thee hold thy tongue, miscreant.
No chance. She's chaperoned in a nice, modest fashion.
Still at thy quips, eh? What business hast thou at this house?
Well, what have you?
King Creon posts separate sentries about here every night.
Much obliged. Seeing we are abroad, he's kept guard for us at home. Now, you can be off, say the family servants have got back.
Thou a family servant, indeed. Unless thou dost disappear instantly, I warrant ye, I'll become servants of the family with strange familiarity.
Here's where I live, I tell you. This is my master's house.
But knowest thou what? I'll soon be making an exalted man of thee, and thou decampst not.
Exalted? How's that?
You shall be carried off on people's shoulders, not walking once my club has got to you.
I'm a member of the household here. I do avow.
Kindly consider soon how soon you want a thrashing unless you vanish instantly.
So you want to forbid me from the house when I'm back from a foreign parts, you?
Is this the house where you belong?
That's what I say.
Who is your master then?
Amphitryon, now in command of the Theban army, and his wife, Alcmena.
How say you? Your name?
Sosia the Thebans call me Sosia, son of Davos.
Ah, it was an evil hour for thee when thou camest here, thou pinnacle of impudence, with thy premeditated lies and patched up fabrications.
You're wrong, I vow. I've come with my tunic patched up and not my fabrications.
Lying again. That has clearly come within thy feet, not a tunic.
Naturally.
And naturally, now, get thrashed for fibbing.
Oh dear, I object naturally.
Oh, well, naturally, that is immaterial. My naturally, at least, is a cold, hard fact, no matter of opinion.
Oh, easy, for heaven's sake.
Durst thou say thou art Zosia, when
Murder!
I am he?
Murder!
Murder? A mere nothing compared to what is coming. Whose are you now?
Your fists. You've got a title to me, but my limit. You've got a title to me, my limitation. Help, demons! Help!
So, bellowing, varlet, speak. Why camest thou?
Just to give you someone to punch, sir.
Whose are you?
Amphitryon, Sosia, I tell you.
Well, then you shall be pummeled the more for talking nonsense. You, Zosia, I am he myself.
I wish to God you were instead of me, and I was thumping you.
Muttering, eh?
I won't. I won't, sir.
Who is your master?
Anyone you like, sir.
Indeed. And your name now?
Nothing but you order, sir.
You were saying you were Amphitryon Zosia.
All of a mistake, sir. Amphitrion's associate, I meant to, sir. Really, I did.
I knew quite well there was no servant Zosia at our place except me. You made a slip.
Oh, how I wish your fists had.
Oh, I am that Zosia you claimed to be a while ago.
For heaven's sake, sir, let me have a word with you in peace without getting pummeled.
No peace, but I consent to a short armistice, if you have anything to say.
I won't say it, not unless peace is made. Your fists are too much for me.
Out with what you want, I shall not hurt you.
Can I take your word for that?
You can.
What if you fool me?
Then may Zosia feel the wrath of Mercury.
Listen here, sir. Now I'm free to come out plain with anything. I am Amphitryon Sosia. I am.
What? Again?
I made peace. I struck a treaty. It's the truth.
Oh, be thrashed to you.
Suit yourself. Do what suits you. Seeing your fists are too much for me. It's just the same. No matter what you do, I won't keep that back. My God, not that.
You shall never lie to make me anyone but Zosia. Never.
And by the thunder, you shall never do me out of my family's servant. No, sir. And I'm the only servant Zosia we have.
The man is crazy.
Crazy! You're putting your own complaint off onto me. See here, dashing, and I am Amphitryon serving SOSIA. Didn't your ship arrive this night from Port Perseus, and I on it? Didn't my own master send me here? And I standing in front of our house this minute? Haven't I got a lantern? See, in my hand, and I am talking. And I awake? Did this chap just give me a bruising? Lord, but he did. Ow! Why my poor jaw? His jaw's ache even now. What am I hesitating for then? Or why don't I go inside our house?
What? Your house?
Yes, just so.
You lie, I tell you. Your every word has been a lie. I am Amphitryon SOSIA, beyond dispute.
Wait.
Why, this very night we unmoored and left Port Perseus, and we have seized the city where King Tarellus held sway. And we subdued the legions of the Teleboians by our sturdy onslaught, and Amphitryon himself slew King Tarellus in the field of battle.
I can't believe my own ears when I hear that fellow going on so. My word, he certainly does reel our doings there all off put. But I say, what was Amphitryon presented with from the Teleboians' spoils?
A golden bowl that King Tarellus was wont to drink from.
He's hid it. Okay, where is the bowl? Where is the bowl now?
In a little chest sealed with Amphitryon's signet.
What's on the signet? Tell me that.
Soul rising in a 4-horse chariot. Why, this attempt to catch me, caitiff.
This evidence settles me. I've got to find me a new name. I understand where he saw. I don't understand where he saw this from. I'll trick him in good style. Yeah, something I did when I was all alone and not another soul there in the tent. You'll never be able to tell me what about that. Anyway, well, if you're SOSIA, what did you do in the tent when the soldiers were in the thick of the fight? Answer me that, and I give in.
There was a cask of wine. I drew off a jugful.
Right on track.
Then I drained it, wine pure as it came from its mother.
That's a fact. I did drink off a jug of wine neat. Most probably the people was hiding in the same, well, most probably this fellow was hiding in the same jug.
Well, have I convinced you that you are not SOSIA?
You deny it? Do you?
Of course I deny it, being SOSIA myself.
No, I am. I swear by Jupiter, and I swear I'm not lying too.
But I swear by Mercury that Jupiter disbelieves you. Why, man, he will take my bare word against your solemn oath, no doubt about it.
For mercy's sake, who am I if I'm not SOSIA? I ask you that.
When I do not wish to be SOSIA yourself, by all means. Now that I am he, you either peck or take a thrashing, you unknown riffraff.
Upon my soul, and now I look him over and consider my own looks, my own appearance. I've peeped in a mirror many a time. He is precious like me. He has a traveling hat, yes, and clothes the same as mine. He's like me as I am myself. Same leg, foot, height, haircut, eyes, nose, lips, even jaw, chin, beard, neck, everything. Well. If he's got a back full of whip scars, you couldn't find a like or likeness anywhere. But when I think it over, I'm positive I'm the same man I always was. Of course I am. I know master. I know our house. I'm sane and sound. I've got my senses. I won't take any notice of what he says, not I. I'll knock at that door.
Where now?
Home.
And shouldst thou climb to Jupiter's 4-horse chariot and seek to flee, even so thou canst hardly fly.
misfortune.
I can tell my own mistress what my own master ordered me to tell her, can't I?
Thy own mistress, aye, whatever likes thee, but never shalt thou approach ours here. Yea, provoke me, and thou draggest hence a shipwreck of a man.
No, don't. I'll be off. Immortal gods, for heaven's sakes, where did I lose myself? Where was I transformed? Where did I drop my shape? I didn't leave myself behind at the harbor, did I? No, if I did happen to forget it, for my word, this fellow has got hold of my complete image. Mine that was. Here I am alive and folks carrying my image. More than anyone will ever do when I'm dead. I'll go down to the harbor and tell my master all about these goings on. Yep, and that is unless he doesn't know me too. And I hope to Jupiter he won't, so that I may shave my hair off this very day and stick my bald head in a free man's cap.
Well, my little affair has progressed finely, famously. I have sent a confounded nuisance to the right about from the door and given my father a chance to embrace the lady here in safety. Now, when our friend gets back, there to his master Amphitryon, lay this tale how it was servant SOSIA that packed him off. Yes, and then Amphitryon will think he's lying and never came here as he ordered. Oh, I'll muddle the pair of them, bedevil them completely, and Amphitryon's whole household too, and keep it up till my father has his fill of her whom he loves. Then all shall know the truth, but not before. And finally, Jupiter will renew the former harmony between Alcmena and her spouse. For you see, Amphitryon will be raging at his wife shortly and accusing her of playing him false, when my father will step in and quell the riot. Now, about Alcmena, something I left unsaid a while ago. Now, she shall bring forth twin sons, one being a 10 months boy, the other a 7. One is Amphitryon's child, the other Jove's. The younger boy, however, has the greater father, and vice versa. You see how it is, do you? But out of consideration for Alcmena here, my father has provided that there shall be only one parturition. He intends to make one labor suffice for 2. But Amphitryon, though, as I told you some time since, will be informed of the whole affair. But what of that? Certainly no one will hold Alcmena guilty. No, it would seem highly unbecoming for a god to let a mortal take the consequences of his misdeeds and his indiscretions. Oh, enough of this. There goes the door. Ah, the counterfeit Amphitryon comes out with his borrowed wife, Alcmena.
Goodbye, and God bless you, my dear. Continue to look out for our common interests, and do be sure not to overdo. You are near your time now, you know. I'm obliged to leave you. Oh, but don't expose the child.
Why, my husband, what takes you away so suddenly?
Oh, no weariness of you and home, I swear to that. But when the commander-in-chief is not with his army, things are much more liable to go wrong than right.
He's a sly old dodger. Does me credit, my father does. Notice how suavely he'll smooth her down.
Oh, yes, I'm learning how much you think of your wife.
Oh, isn't it enough that you're the dearest woman in the world to me?
Now, sir, just let the lady up yonder learn of your performance here, and I'll guarantee you rather be Amphitryon than Jove.
Actions speak louder than words. Here you are leaving me before your place on the couch has had time to get warm. You came last night at midnight, and now you are going. Does that seem right?
I'll go slip a word in and play henchman for my father. Lord, ma'am, I don't believe there's a mortal man alive loves his own wife so madly as the mad way he dotes on you.
You rascal! I don't know you. Out of my sight, will you? What business have you to interfere with this matter, or to breathe a word about it, you scamp? I'll take my cane to you this instant, and
Oh, please don't.
you just breathe a word now.
Oh, the henchman's first try at henching pretty nearly came to grief.
But as to what you say, Precious, you oughtn't to be so cross with me. It was on the sly that I left my troops. This is a stolen treat, stolen for your sake, so that your first news of how I served my country might come first from me. And now I have told you the whole story. I wouldn't have done such a thing if I hadn't loved you with all my heart.
Doing as I said, eh? Stroking her down, patting her back. Oh, poor thing.
Now, I must slip back so that my men may not get wind of this and say I put my wife ahead of the public welfare.
And make your own wife cry at your leaving her.
Oh, hush. Don't spoil your eyes. I shall be back soon.
That soon is a long, long time.
It's not that I like to leave you here and go away.
So I perceive. Going away the same night you came to me.
Why do you hold me? It is time. I wish to get out of the city before daybreak. Here is the bowl they presented me for bravery on the field, the one King Terelas used to drink from, whom I killed with my own hand. Take it as a gift from me, Alcmena.
That is so like you. Oh, the gift just matches the giver.
Oh, no, not the giver. That gift matches the getter.
So, at it again? Is there no choking you off, you jailbird? No?
Please, Amphitryon, don't be angry with SOSIA on my account.
Anything you please.
Love has made an out-and-out savage of him.
Nothing else, then?
This, even though I am not near you, love me still. Your own true wife, absent or not.
Let's go, sir. It's getting light already.
Go ahead, SOSIA. I shall be with you in a moment. Nothing further?
Yes, yes. Do come back soon.
Indeed I will. I shall be here sooner than you think. Oh, come. Cheer up. Now, night, who hast tarried for me, I dismiss thee. Give place today that he may shine upon mortals in radiance and splendor. And night, since thou wert longer than the last, I shall make the day so much the shorter that there may be fair adjustment. But let day issue forth from night. And now to follow after Mercury.
Here, you, after me, come.
Coming, sir. I right at your heels.
It's my opinion you are a damned rascal.
Oh, sir, why?
Because what you tell me is not so, never was so, never will be.
See there now, just like you can never trust your servants.
What? How is that? Well, by heaven, now I'll cut that villainous tongue for you, you villain.
I'm yours, sir, so do anything that suits your convenience and taste. However, I shall tell you everything just as it happened here, and you shall never frighten me out of that, never.
You confounded rascal. Do you mean to tell me you are at home this very minute when you are here with me?
It is a fact, sir.
A fact you shall soon suffer for. The gods will see to that, and so will I.
That rests with you, sir. I am your man.
You dare make fun of me, scoundrel? Your master? You dare tell me a thing no one ever saw before, an impossible thing? Same thing in two places at one time?
Really, sir, it's just as I say.
Jove's curse on you.
What harm have I done? What harm have I done you to be punished, sir?
Harm? You reprobate? Still making a joke of me, are you?
Why, you would have a right to call me names if it was so, but I'm not lying, sir. It happened just as I say.
The man is drunk, I do believe.
Which I was.
Your wish is already gratified.
Is it?
It is. Where did you get drink?
I did not I, nowhere.
What am I to make of this fellow?
I have told you how it was 10 times over. I am at home. I say, do you hear that? Yes, and I'm here with you. The same, SOSIA. There, sir. Do you think that do you think that is putting it plainly enough, lucid enough for you?
Bah, get away with you.
What's the matter?
You have the plague.
Why? What do I say for that? What do you say that for? Really, sir, I feel well. I am all right.
But I shall soon see you get your dessert. You will not feel so well. You will be wretched enough once I get back home, all right. Be so good as to follow me, you that can make a butt of your master with your idiotic drivel. Seeing you neglected to carry out your master's orders, you now have the effrontery to come and laugh at him to boot, with your tales of what can never happen, what no man ever heard of, you rapscallion. Heaven, those lies of yours shall fall upon your own back. I promise you.
It is hard, sir, horribly hard on a good servant that tells his master plain facts to have his facts confuted by a flogging.
Curse it. How in the world is it possible? Argue it out with me. For you to be here now and at home too. Tell me that, will you?
I am here and I am there. I positively am. I don't care who wonders at it. It's no more wonderful to you than it is to me, sir.
How is that?
I say it is not a bit more wonderful to you than to me. So help me heaven. I didn't believe in my own self, SOSIA, at first, not till the other SOSIA, myself, made me believe him. He reeled off everything just as it happened while we were on the field there with the enemy. And besides, he had stolen my looks along with my name. One drop of milk is no more like another than that I is like me. Why, when you sent your head home from the harbor before dawn a while ago.
What then?
I was standing in front of the house long before I got there.
What confounded rubbish. Are you actually in your senses?
You can see for yourself I am.
The fellow is bewitched somehow. The evil hand has been laid on him since he left me.
Right, you are evil. The way I got beaten to jelly was damned evil.
Who was it who beat you?
I beat myself. And the I that is at home now.
Mine now. Not a word about what I asked. In the first place, I wish to be informed who that SOSIA was.
Your own slave.
As a matter of fact, I have one too many in you already, and never in my life did I own a slave named SOSIA except yourself.
Well, sir, you mark my words now. I warned you, you will come upon a second servant SOSIA of yours besides me when you reach home. Yes, sir, one whose father was Davos, the same as mine, and who is just like me and just my age too. Enough said, sir. SOSIA has twinned here for you.
Strange, very strange indeed. But did you see my wife?
Why, sir, never a foot was I allowed to put in the house.
Who hindered you?
That SOSIA I have been telling you of you all along, the one that smashed me up.
Who is that SOSIA?
I am. I say, how many times do you need me to do you need to be told?
But look here, you were not asleep a while ago, were you?
Not a bit of it, sir.
Then perhaps if you had seen that SOSIA of yours in your dreams.
I don't do my master's orders drowsily. Wide awake I was, eyes open. I'm wide awake with them open on you now. I am wide awake telling my story, and I was wide awake when he hammered me a while back. Yes, and he was wide awake.
Who?
SOSIA, I tell you, that me. Pray, do you not understand?
How the devil can any man understand such stuff and nonsense?
Well, you will know what I mean very soon once you know that servant SOSIA.
Come then, this way. This matter needs my investigation first of all.
Oh, are not the pleasures in life in this daily round trifling compared with the pains? Is it our common human lot? Is it heaven's will for sorrow to come in following after joy? Yes, yes, and to have a larger share of trouble and distress the moment something nice happened. Ah, I am learning this now at first hand, learning it of my own experience. A few short hours of happiness, allowed to see my husband for just one night, and then away he goes all of a sudden before daylight. It does seem so lonely here now. When the one I love best is gone, I have never felt more unhappy at his going than happy at his coming. But there is thus much to be thankful for. At least he has been victorious and come home a hero. That is one comfort. He may leave me, if only he returns to me with a glorious name. I will bear his going, yes, and keep on bearing it to the end, firmly and unflinchingly. Only let me have the reward of hearing my husband hailed conqueror. That is enough for me. Courage is very best gift of all. Courage stands before everything. It does. It does. It is what maintains and preserves our liberty, safety, life, our homes, and our parents, our country, and children. Courage comprises all things. A man with courage has every blessing.
By Jove, my wife will certainly be delighted to have me home, loving each other as we do, especially now that we have been successful and the enemy that everyone thought was invincible, beaten at the first set to under my auspices and leadership. Ah, yes, my arrival will surely be a welcome event to her.
What? And don't you think mine is going to be welcome to my lady friend?
Why, here is my husband.
Here, you, this way.
What in the world is he back so soon for after saying he must hurry off? Is he trying me on purpose? Does he want to test how much I miss him when he goes? Bless his heart, I have no objection to his coming home again.
We better make it back for the ship once more, sir.
Why?
No one at home is going to give the new arrivals a breakfast. That is why.
And how does that thought happen to occur to you?
Because we've come too late.
How so?
Well, there's mistress in front of the house, and she has a sort of well-fed look about her.
I had hopes when I went away, SOSIA, of being made a father.
Heaven help me.
What is the matter?
I have got home exactly in time to draw the water. It's the 10th month since, according as I follow your reckoning.
Cheer up, cheer up.
No, how cheerful I am do you, sir? Let me get a hold of a bucket, and by gad, don't ever trust my sacred oath again if I do not drain that well if I don't drain that well of its last breath. Once I begin.
Come now, this way with me. I will appoint someone else to that office, never fear.
I suppose it would be more duteous of me to go meet him.
Gladly does Amphitryon greet his darling wife, whom her husband judges to be the one best lady in all Thebes. Yea, and justly do the citizens of Thebes bruit her virtue. Have you been well all this time? Are you glad to see me?
Glad, none more so. Welcomes him about as warmly as she would a dog.
Ah, it is splendid to see your condition, dear, and to see you getting on so finely.
Gracious, why are you making fun of me with all these greetings and salutations, as if you had not seen me just a little while ago, just this moment back from war?
Why, but I have not seen you. No, nowhere at all except this very instant.
What makes you deny it?
Because I've learned to tell the truth.
Is it not a good plan to learn a thing and then unlearn it? Or is this a test of my feelings? But why are you returning so quickly? Were you delayed by bad omens, or is it the weather detains you that have not gone away to the army as you spoke of just a little while ago?
A little while ago? How little a while ago was that?
Please. Oh, quite a little while ago. Just how?
For heaven's sakes, how can those statements agree? Quite a little while ago and just now.
How do you suppose? I am merely trying to make game of you for a change after you making game of me by saying this is your first appearance here when you just now left us.
Upon my soul, she's raving.
Wait a while till she has slept till she has slept out just one sleep.
What, awake and dreaming?
To be sure, I am awake, and awake as I relate what happened. Well, just a little while ago, before dawn, I saw that man and you both.
Where was this?
Here in your very house, sir.
Impossible.
Hush, sir, hush. What if the ship carried us here from the harbor in our sleep?
Ha, you're siding with her too?
Well, what do you want? Don't you understand? You but cross a backhand when the backkick frenzy fills her, and you'll make the crazy thing crazier still, and she'll hit you all the more. Humor her, and she'll call it quits after one blow.
Humor her? By that Lord, it will be a bad humor, that's sure. Arriving home today and she unwilling to give me a decent welcome.
You'll be poking a hornet's nest.
Silence. Alcmena, there's something I wish to ask.
Anything you please.
Are you obsessed by some foolish notion, or is this pride running away with you?
What makes it enter your head to ask me such a question, my husband?
Because till today, you used to welcome me on my arrival and greet me as modest wives generally do their husbands. Here I come home to find you have dropped the habit.
Why, mercy me, when you came home yesterday, I certainly did welcome you at the moment you appeared and asked you in the same breath if you had been well all that time and seized your hand and gave you a kiss.
I welcomed him yesterday, did you?
Yes, and you too, Sosia.
Sir, I hope she was going to bear you a son, but it's an old child she's got.
What then?
A crazy streak.
Indeed, I have not, and I pray heaven I may safely bear a son. But you, sir, shall have an ample supply of aches and pains if your master here does his duty. You shall be well rewarded for that omen, Sir Omener.
Really now, ma'am, it's a lady in your condition not to have aches and pains, yes, and an apple and an apple supply too, so that to have something to chew on in case she gets to feeling seedy.
You saw me here yesterday.
Yes,
Yes.
I.
Mm.
And if you must be told 10 times over.
In your sleep, perhaps?
No, awake. And you were awake too.
Oh, this is terrible. Terrible.
What ails you?
My wife is raving.
Bilious attack, sir. Black bile. There's nothing sets him raving so soon.
When did you first see it coming on, woman?
Goodness me, I'm perfectly sane and sound.
And why are you declaring you saw me yesterday when we reached port last night? I took dinner there and spent the whole livelong night there on board my ship. And I have not set foot in this house from the time I and my troops started on this campaign against the Teleboians and conquered them.
The idea. You had dinner with me and we went to bed.
What?
I tell you the truth, sir.
Good God, not in that anyhow. About other matters I can't say.
And at the very break of day, you went away to the army.
How's that?
Quite straight, sir, as far as her memory goes. She's giving you her dream. But I say, ma'am, this morning after you woke up, you ought to have taken some salted cakes or incense and prayed to Jove. He has charge of prodigies.
Oh, confound you, sir.
That would do you good, ma'am, if you would see to it. It would. Really?
Found you, sir. How would you see to it? There he is, rude to me again, and not suffering for it.
Keep still, sir, you. And you, I left you this morning at daybreak, did I?
Why, who else but you too told me about the battle that went there.
You don't mean to say you know about that?
Naturally, since I heard it from your own lips, how you took the great city and killed King Tarson yourself.
I told you that? I?
Yes, you yourself, with SOSIA standing by too.
Have you heard me say a word about this?
Heard you? Where?
Ask her.
You never did, so far as I know, leastways with me at hand.
It is strange he declines to contradict his own master.
Sosia, here, look me in the eye.
Very good, sir.
What I want from you is the truth. No obsequiousness.
Mhm.
Did you ever hear me utter a syllable of what she says?
Well, upon my word, I should like to ask you are not crazy yourself asking me a question like that. And I just this minute setting eyes on her for the first time along with you.
What now, madam? Do you hear him?
To be sure I do, telling lies.
You won't believe him or me, your own husband either?
That is only because I believe myself most of all, and I know everything occurred just as I tell you.
You say I arrived yesterday.
And you deny that you left today?
Deny it? Of course I do. And I say I'm just coming home to you for the first time.
And you will deny this too, pray? That you gave me the golden bowl today that was presented to you there, as you said?
By heaven, I never gave it nor said it. But did I intend to make you a gift of that bowl and do still? But who told you of that, though?
Why, I heard it from your own lips and received the bowl from your own hand.
One moment, please. One moment. It is very extraordinary, Sosia, how she knows I was presented with a golden bowl there, unless you met her a while ago yourself and told her the whole story.
Sir, I never told her no, nor saw her except here with you.
What sort of creature have I got here?
Would you like to have the bowl brought?
Indeed, I should.
Very well. Oh, there. That's Salah. Bring the bowl my husband gave me today.
Sosia, come over here. On my soul, it will be the most astounding of all these astounding circumstances if she has that.
Do you really believe that, sir? But I've got it in this little chest right here, sealed by your signet.
Is the seal intact?
Look and see.
It's all right, just as I sealed it.
For heaven's sakes, why don't you have her treated for lunacy?
By Jove, I should. But bless my soul, she's full of evil spirits.
Satisfied, sir. There, your bowl. See?
Give it here.
Come now, be so good as to look at it. You do that, do a good thing, and then disown it. I shall refute you plainly, sir, here and now. Is this the bowl they presented to you there or not?
Jove almighty, what do I see? That self-same bowl. It is. This is frightful, Sosia.
My God, she's either the greatest enchantress alive easily, or the bowl must be inside here.
Come, unfasten the chest.
Unfasten it? Why? It's sealed all right. Everything is ship-shape. You have spawned another Amphitryon. I have spawned another SOSIA. Now, if the bowl has spawned another bowl, we've all doubled.
I'm resolved. It must be opened and inspected.
Yes, please. Take a look at the seal, sir, so that you won't blame me later.
Yes, open up. Why, the woman is bent on driving us mad with her talk.
Where did this come from then, if it was not a present from you?
This matter needs my investigation.
Oh, by Jove!
What is it?
There's no bowl in the chest here at all.
What's that you say?
It's the honest truth.
But your skin shall soon pay for it if it's not forthcoming.
This one is forthcoming at any rate.
Who gave it to you then?
My questioner.
try to catch me. The fact is, you ran on ahead from the ship by yourself by another road on the sly, and took the bowl out yourself and gave it to her, and then sealed up the chest again on the sly.
Oh, ye gods. So you are abetting her delusions too.
But
we came here yesterday.
Yes, and the moment you arrived, you greeted me, and I you, and I gave you a kiss.
now I don't like that beginning with a kiss.
Go on.
Then you bathed.
And after bathing?
You took your place in the dining couch.
Bravo, sir, great work. Now get to the bottom of it.
No interruptions. Go on with your story.
Dinner was served, we dined together. I took my place on the couch too.
The same couch.
Surely.
Ooh, this banqueting looks bad.
That will do. Let her state her case. What after we dined?
You said you were sleepy. The table was removed. We went off to bed.
Where did you sleep?
Why, with you in our room.
Oh my God.
What ails you?
She has killed me. Killed me.
Why, my dear man, what do you mean?
Don't speak to me.
To what ails you?
Oh, God help me. She's been seduced while I was gone.
Good heavens. For mercy's sake, how can you say such a thing, my dear husband?
Am I your husband? Oh, you false wretch. None of your false names for me.
Here's a pretty mess if he's turned into a woman and is not her husband.
What have I done to be talked to like that?
You've recounted your doings yourself. You asked me what the harm is?
Pray tell me, what have I done in being with you, the man that I married?
You with me? Of all brazen shamelessness, you might at least borrow some sense of decency if you have none of your own.
Such behavior as you accuse me of does not become members of my family, sir. Angle for me if you wish. You cannot catch me in such unspeakable conduct.
Great God. You know me anyhow, Sosia, don't you?
Well, rather.
Didn't I dine yesterday on shipboard at Port Persicus?
Yes, and I too have witnessed to collaborate what I say.
I can't puzzle it out, sir, unless there's some other Amphitryon to manage your business. No matter if you are away and to do your job for you when you have gone. I tell you what, that sham SOSIA was monstrous, surprising, but this second Amphitryon is certainly more so.
Some magician or other has bedeviled the woman.
I swear by the kingdom of the king, and on high by Juno, the matron goddess, I most have reverence and fear with. So may she bless me as no mortal man, save you only, has taken me to him as wife.
Oh, I wish it was the truth.
It is the truth. But what of that when you refuse to believe me?
You're a woman. You swear bold.
A woman who has done nothing wrong ought to be bold, yes, and self-confident and forward in her own defense.
Bold, with a vengeance.
As innocence should be.
Yes, you're immaculate as far as talk goes.
Personally, I do not feel that my dowry in that, which people call a dowry, but purity and honor and self-control, fear of God, love of parents, affection for my family, and being a dutiful wife to you, sir, lavish of loving kindness and helpful through honest service.
My word, she's a regular pattern of perfection if she's telling the truth.
Upon my soul, I have been so bewitched, I don't know who I am.
You're Amphitryon right enough, sir. Just look out. You only don't lose your title to yourself by limitation, the way folks are getting changed about these days since we've been back from abroad.
The matter shall not escape investigation, madam. I am resolved on that.
Oh, dear me, sir, do investigate and welcome.
Here, answer me this. What if I bring your own relative, Naucrates, over from the ship? He made the voyage with me on the same vessel. Now, if he denies that I did as you say, What do you deserve? Have you any reason to give that I should not divorce you?
None, if I have done wrong.
Agreed. Sosia, take these fellows in. I will bring the Kratis here from the ship.
Now then, ma'am, no one's here besides us.
Do be serious and tell me the truth. Is there another Sosia inside who's just like me?
Will you leave my sight, sir, you slave worthy of your master?
Sure, ma'am, if you say so.
Merciful heavens, it's simply unintelligible how my husband could think fit to accuse me of such atrocious conduct without the slightest cause. Well, whatever it is, I soon shall know about it from Necratus, one of my own family.
I am that Amphitryon who has a servant Sosia, which same turns into Mercury on occasion, I being the Amphitryon who lodge in the upper attic, and become Jupiter at times when the humour seizes me. As soon as I wend my way into these parts, however, on the spot I am Amphitryon, and change my clothes. I now appear out of regard for you so as not to terminate this incoherent comedy. At the same time, I'm here to help out Alcmena, poor innocent, denounced as disloyal by her lord Amphitryon. For it would be sinful of me if the storm I have brewed should descend upon the head of guileless Alcmena. I will pretend for the present to be Amphitryon myself, as I have already, and thoroughly confound this family today. Then, after that, I will eventually clear matters up, yes, and aid Alcmena in due season, contriving that she give birth at one time to both the children she carries, her husband's and my own, without a pang. Mercury has his orders to attend me closely in case I have commands to give. Now, for a word with the lady.
I can't stand staying in this house. To be branded so with shame, disloyalty, disgrace by my own husband. How he clamors to make facts no facts, and what never happened, things I never did, he accuses me of, and thinks I'll consider it quite immaterial. Good gracious, but I won't. I won't endure such an awful, unjustified accusation. I will leave him, or he must apologize, one or the other, yes, and swear he is sorry, too, for the things he has said to an innocent woman.
It is incumbent upon me to meet her demands if I wish the loving creature to take me into her good graces again. Since my doings offend Amphitryon, and this love affair of mine lately occasioned his guiltless self some consternation, it is turn about now, and my guiltless self has to suffer for the scorn and contumely he heaped on her.
Ah, there he is, the man that charges his wretched wife with disloyalty and shame.
I wish to speak with you, my dear. Turned away? Where to?
It is natural I should, sir. I always loathe looking at enemies.
Oh, I say now. Enemies?
Enemies, that's the truth of it. Unless you intend to term this a lie, too.
Oh, you are too irritable.
Can't you keep your hands off? Why, surely, sir, if you were sane or had a particle of sense about you, when you think your wife is immodest and tell her so yourself, you wouldn't hold any conversation with her at all in jest or in earnest unless you were the silliest of silly men.
My saying so doesn't make you so any the more, and I don't think you so either. And I've come back to set myself right with you, for I never did feel sicker at heart about anything than after I heard you were provoked with me. Why did you say it, you'll ask? I'll clear up that point for you. Bless your heart, it wasn't because I believed you were immodest. I was just testing your feelings to see what you do and how you take it. Oh, really, it was all a joke. What I said just now, merely a bit of fun. But why, you can ask SOSIA here.
Why do you not bring my relative Necrotus, as you just now said you would, to prove you had not been here?
If I said something in a joke, it's not fair to take it in earnest.
I know one thing, that joke of yours cut me to the heart, sir.
Oh, I beg and beseech you, Alcmena, by this right hand of yours, do forgive me for it. Pardon me, don't be angry.
Her charges are refuted by my honest life. Now, sir, have been guiltless of gross behavior. I will not be subjected to gross language. Goodbye. Keep your things and return me mine. Will you order my attendants to follow me?
Are you in your senses?
If you decline to do so, I will go with my woman honor as my only escort.
Wait. I'll swear to it at your dictation that I believe my wife is virtuous. If I deceive you in this, then Jove Almighty, I invoke thy curse upon Amphitryon forevermore.
Oh, no, his blessing.
I trust to have it, for it is a reliable oath I have given you. Now, you're not angry, are you?
No.
There's a good girl. Why, life is full of incidents of this sort. Human beings lay hold on pleasures and then again on pains. Quarrels come between them and then they are reconciled again. But if any such quarrel as this does happen to arise between them, then when it blows over, they're twice as fond of one another as they were before.
You should have been careful not to say such things in the first place. But if you apologize so nicely for hurting me so, I can't complain.
Well, then, have the sacrificial vessel prepared for me so that I can pay all the vows I vowed for a safe return home when I was in the field.
I will attend to that.
Call SOSIA out. I want him to invite BLEPHARO, the pilot on board my ship, to launch with us. As a matter of fact, friend BLEPHARO will be left unlunched and looking foolish when I turn Amphitryon out neck and crop.
I wonder what he's talking about all to himself. Ah, there goes the door. Zosia's coming out.
Present, sir. If anything's needed, order away and I will fulfill orders.
SOSIA, you are just the man I want.
Is there a peace between the two of you now, sir? I tell you what, it's a pleasure. It's a joy to seeing you looking peaceful. Yes, and to my way of thinking, an honest servant ought to stick to his principle. Be like what his betters are, model his expression on theirs, be in the dumps if they are in the dumps, and jolly if they are happy. But come, sir, answer me.
What have you made friends now again, eh? Huh?
Mocker, what I said a while ago was all in fun, and you know it.
Fine, was it? Upon my soul, I thought it was the solemn truth.
I have explained. Peace is made.
Ah, that's grand, sir.
I will make these offerings I vowed inside.
Very good, sir.
As for you, convey my invitation to pilot BLEPHARO, to come over from the ship and lunch with me after the sacrifice is done.
I'll be here by the same time you think I am there, sir.
Yes, hurry back home.
Is there anything else, or shall I go now and see to the things you'll need?
Oh, do by all means, and get everything ready as quickly as you can.
Come in as soon as you wish. I'll make sure there's nothing to delay you.
That's the way for an attentive wife to talk. There we are, both of them fooled. Servant and mistress took in thinking me Amphitryon. A sad mistake. Harkye, SOSIA the divine appear. You hear what I say, even though absent in the flesh. Drive Amphitryon away from the house when he arrives, any device you please. He must be hoodwinked while I proceed to divert myself with my wife on loan. Kindly see that this is managed precisely as you know I wish it to be, and do me service while I am sacrificing to myself.
Get away! Go, get out! Get out of the street! Everyone! Let no man be so bold as to block my path. For damn me, just tell me why a god like me hasn't as much a right to hector people that hinder him as your paltry slave in comedies. He brings word the ship is safe, or the choleric man approaching. As for me, I hearken to the word of Jove, and at his bidding do I now hie me hither. Wherefore it is still more seemly to get off the street for me. My father calls me, I come, obedient to his best and will. I am a good son to my father, as a son could be. I back him up in his gallantries, encourage him, stand by him, advise him, rejoice with him. If anything gratifies my father, it gratifies me infinitely more. He's in love, he's wise, he does well to indulge his inclinations. It is what everyone ought to do. That is within due bounds. At present, my father wishes Amphitryon to be fooled. Fooled he shall be finely, I promise you. Here and now, spectators, under your inspection. I'm going to put a garland on my head and make believe I'm drunk. Yes, and I'll climb out of yonder roof and repel our returning hero in glorious style from up above here. I'll see that he's both soaked and sober. Then that servant Zosia of his shall promptly smart from it. Zosia being accused of doing what I do here. But what of that? I must humor my own father. It is only dutiful to meet his desires. But there's Amphitryon coming. Here and now he'll be finely fooled, if you'll only take the trouble to attend. I'll go inside myself and make up as a person flown with wine, and then I'll up to the roof to keep him off.
Necrates, whom I wanted to get hold of, wasn't on the ship, and not a soul can I find at his house or in the city who has seen him. I have hobbled through every street, gymnasium, and perfumery shop, down in the bazaar and the market, at the athletic field and the forum, too, at the doctors, the barbers, the holy temples, from first to last. I am tired to death of looking for him, and not a sign of Necrates anywhere. Now I'm going to go home and ask my wife some more questions about this. Find out who it is she has prostituted herself for. Oh, I'd sooner die than let the day pass without having this matter settled. Well, they've locked up my house. Doings, quite in accord with the rest of it. I'll knock. Open up here. Hey, is anyone in? Open, somebody.
Who's at the door?
I am.
I am? Eh?
So I say.
Oh, Jupiter and all gods, surely angry you, demolishing our door?
What do you mean?
Here's what I mean. You're certainly going to have a bad time of it.
SOSIA.
Oh, just so that's me. Unless you think I've forgotten. Now, what do you want?
Rascal, do you dare ask me that? What I want?
Of course I do. You almost hammered the doors off the hinges, you stupid. Didn't suppose we were supplied with doors at the public expense, did you? What are you staring at me for, you booby? What are you after now? Who are you?
You scoundrel, still asking me who I am? You death on rods, you. By gad, I'll warm you up with a whip today for this insolence.
You must have been a waster in your younger days.
How so?
Well, here you are, in your declining of years, begging me for trouble.
You shall soon suffer for this flow of language, you drudge.
I'm sacrificing to ye, I am.
How?
Why, because I'm making you an offering of calamity.
I'll make you an offer of torture and torment, you whipping post.
The master Amphitryon is busy, but you just have a chance to leave. I would serve you right to have a pot of ashes broken on your head, or maybe a jug of water. BLEPHARO? Do we have a BLEPHARO?
Must untangle your own selves. I'm going. I have an engagement. Never that I see such marvels anywhere, I do believe.
BLEPHARO, stand by me for mercy's sake and be my assistance. Don't go.
Goodbye. What's the use of being an assistant when I don't know which to be? Which to be it go?
I am going inside myself. Alcmena's delivery is at hand.
Heavens, oh heavens, what shall I do when assistants and friends desert me? By the Lord, that villain shall never make game of me and escape, whoever he is. I'll go straight to the king this moment and tell him all as it happened. I swear I'll have my revenge this day on that salient sorcerer who has turned the wits of my household topsy-turvy. Where is he, though? God, he's gone inside to my wife, no doubt. Oh, of all the miserable men in Thebes, what shall I do now? Owned and humbugged by every mortal soul to suit their humor. My mind's made up. Burst into the house. Every human creature in there I set my eyes on, maid or man, wife or paramour, mother or grandfather, I'll cut them down in my halls. Not the will of Jupiter and all the gods shall stop my doing as I've determined. I'll end this minute.
Oh, my hopes and chances of getting out of this alive are dead and buried inside of me. There's not a thing left to keep my courage up now. The way everything, sea, land, sky, does seem set on crushing me, killing me off this instant. Oh dear, what to do? I don't know. Such amazing things as did happen in there. Oh, poor me. I feel faint. Oh, for some water. I'm a wreck. I'm all done up. Oh, my head's splitting, and I can't hear or see right either. There isn't a wretcheder woman on earth, or one that could seem so either. The experienced mistress did have this day. As soon as her time comes, she calls on the gods to help her, and there's a grumbling and rumbling and smashing and crashing. What a crash! So sudden and quick and heavy it was. Everyone fell flat where he stood at the peel, and then someone or other called out in a mighty voice, Alcmena, help is at hand. Be not afraid. To thee and thine the sovereign of the skies comes in kindliness. Rise, he said, ye who have fallen in terror from dread of me. Having dropped, I got on my feet. I thought the house was afire, the way it was all lit up then. Just then Alcmena calls for me to come. I was trembling already at what happened, but fear of mistress prevailed, and up I run to find out what she wants, and there I see she has given birth to twins, boys, and not a soul of us noticed when it happened, or is ready for it. Oh, but what's this? Who's this old man lying like this in front of our house? Why can't it be... Can it be he's struck by lightning? Oh, why, mercy me, I do believe so. For good gracious, he's as completely disposed of as if he were a corpse. I'll go find out whoever it is. It's Amphitryon. It's my master. Amphitryon!
Heaven help me.
Get up, sir.
I'm dead.
Give me your hand, sir.
Who has hold of me?
Your serving maid, Sir BROMIA.
I'm paralyzed with fear. Oh, Jove, what a bolt. I feel as if I were getting back from the next world. Oh, what has made you come out?
We poor women were struck with the same terror in this house of yours, sir. I've seen the most amazing things. Oh, dearie me, master. I'm just clean dazed even now.
Come, quick. Tell me. Do you know me or your master, Amphitryon?
Surely, sir.
Here. Look again.
Surely, sir.
She's the only one in my household that has any sanity about her.
Oh, no, sir. They're all sane. Of course they are.
Well, my wife has driven me insane with her infamous actions.
Well, I'll make you change that tune, sir. Your very own self, and make you realize that your wife is a pious, honest woman, sir. I'll soon give you signs and proofs of that. First of all, she has given birth to twin sons.
What's that? Twins?
Twins.
Oh, the gods are with me.
Let me go on, so that you may know all the gods mean well by you and your wife, sir.
Yes.
After she began to feel near her time today and her pains were setting in, she called on the immortal gods to help her, as women do, sir, in labor, with clean washed hands and covered head. She had no sooner begun than there was a frightful thunderclap. At first we thought your house was tumbling down. Your whole house was shining, sir, just as if it was gold.
For heaven's sakes, hurry up and don't keep me on tenterhooks. I've had enough of your trifling. What happened next?
While this was going on, not one of us heard your wife groan or whimper a bit, sir, the whole time. That's how she bore those boys, sir, never a pang. That's plain.
Well, now, I'm glad of that. And no matter what her behavior to me has been.
Do let that be, sir, and listen. After they were born, she told us to bathe them. We began, but that boy I bathed, how big and strong he was. Not a soul of us could wrap him in his swaddling clothes.
A most astounding story. If it be true, there's no doubt that my wife received divine aid.
You'll call this more astounding still, sir. I warned you, after he was tucked in his cradle, 2 enormous crested serpents came slipping down into the fountain basin. The next second, both of them were lifting up their heads.
Heavens and earth!
Don't be scared. Well, the serpents glared around at all of us. As soon as they spied the boys, they made for the cradles like a flash. I backed away, fearful for the boys and frightened for myself, pulling and hauling the cradles along after me with the serpents a-chasing us, all the angrier. The minute that boy I was telling of sets eyes on the serpents, he's up and out of the cradle in a trice, rushing straight for him and grabbing him, one in each hand, quick as a wink.
Astounding, a perfectly horrifying tale. Mercy on us. Why your very words palsy me. What that? Go on.
The boy chokes both serpents to death. While this is going on, in a clear voice, he calls out the name of your wife.
Who does?
The almighty ruler of gods and men, Jupiter. He said that he himself had secretly shared Alcmena's bed, and that was his son who had crushed the serpents. The other one, he said, was your own child.
Wow. Well, I make no complaint of being permitted to have Jove as partner in my blessings. I mean, in with you, girl. Have sacrificial vessels made ready for me instantly, so that I may seek the favor of omnipotent Jove with ample offerings. I'll summon Tiresias the prophet and consult with him as to what he thinks should be done, and at the same time tell him all this happened. Oh, what's that? That awful thunder peal. Heaven preserve us.
Be of good cheer. I am here with aid, Amphitryon, for thee and thine. Thou hast naught to fear. Seers and soothsayers have none of them. I will make known to thee future and past alike, and better far the name moreover, for I am Jupiter. First of all, then, I took thy Alcmena to myself, and by me she was made a mother. By thee, too, she was with child when thou didst go forth to war. At one birth she bore them both, the one begotten of my seed shall win the undying glory by his works. Live again in fond concord as of old with thy wife Alcmena. She has done naught to merit thy reproach. My power was on her. I now depart to heaven.
Thy will be done. I keep thy word with me. I beg thee. I'll in and see my wife. No more of old Tiresias. Now, spectators, for the sake of Jove Almighty, give me some loud applause.
End of play.
All right.
Hmm.
Well done, everyone.
Bravo.
Yes.
You,
Nice job.
so
You
do you
surprised
think
us with your outfit, Clinton.
Yeah.
Yes.
do you
Nice
think
job. Nice, Drew. I think you really had fun with this role.
Oh yeah, well, there's a lot of exposition going on. You kind of have to enjoy exposition when you're given it.
Yeah.
I was I was wondering, do you think they repeat the plot because people are coming in and out of the amphitheater?
Ah,
You know,
Quite
Yeah.
possibly.
because there's a lot of this, every time a character comes on, it's kind of like there's a lot of like, remember me, I am the god, remember. Or maybe
That's
it's
right.
also to remind
Well,
them.
it's also the style of keeping personal contact with the audience.
Sure.
I mean, because there's no fourth wall here. Quite clearly, they're always talking to the audience and in getting them to participate at some emotional level with the play. I mean, it's a very modern style of theatre that sort of disappeared for a while, that vanished, that nobody quite tries to encourage the audience to join in quite as much as Plautus did.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I was just looking at another translation, and they're both very close. But what was the musical? Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum is based on, if you remember, the servant in that is Pseudolus, and that's the name of the play that it was taken from.
Mm.
And it's all very much the same. They're raucous and fairly vulgar comedies, sort of no holds barred in a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
And as I say, the bit that was cut out, I mean, there was bashing on the head and
Yeah.
bowls of water tipped on people, so
Yeah.
there's nothing particularly high grade about it. It's all pretty much knockabout stuff.
Yeah.
Which is why they were being so popular, and why Shakespeare copied the texts, and why Moliere did, and numerous people have.
Right. It seems like there's kind of a fake out at the top of this play where you see a god and the god speaks formally. And then halfway through the speech, he's just like, you know what? We're just like you guys.
Yeah. Well, a lot of this play is actually, I mean, you're a god, Drew, in this, and you have the prologue. It's quite common that he has one of the gods involved in any of the plays, and that's the prologue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting, the way that Mercury in the prologue explains everything.
Oh yeah, yeah.
in the beginning, which didn't happen in Moliere's Amphitryon.
No, no,
You
no,
know,
no.
people either had to know the play, and of course, if they didn't know their
Right.
classic, Roman plays,
Yeah.
they had to be figuring things out as they went.
Yeah.
Right. It's almost
that
like it's a totally different philosophy of entertainment. Like
Oh,
we
yeah.
think what's entertaining is discovering the story as it goes along, where it
Yeah.
seems like in these plays, it's not important that you don't know the plot or you do know the plot. If you know the plot, it's fine, because
That's
that's not what you're coming here to enjoy necessarily.
And you're coming here to see actors being silly and
Yeah.
pushing each other over,
Right.
But if you consider that in contrast to what had gone before in the Greek dramas, in masks and very, very stylized with
Mhm.
machinery, hauling people in and flying them up and down,
Yeah.
very, very different.
Right.
And of course, even Moliere used a lot of machinery in some of the plays. The doctor, one of the doctor ones, the flying doctor.
Also in Psyche, that was his big machine.
Yeah.
There was a room in Paris that had all these big machines that they would.
Oh yeah. Well, the comic character, the Moliere character in the Flying Doctor was hauled up on a rope so that he could appear on the balcony, and then he was dropped down onto the ground level, and then he would do the next scene. He'd be hauled back up to the top again. Very strange, but fun.
Yeah.
They were, but certainly pretty vulgar. Well, they were also in, I have got to go and take my grandchildren home and get them ready for bed. So thanks,
Great.
everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
That
Thank
was
you.
great.
I'm heading out too.
Fun reading. Thanks.
Thank you, everybody.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.